This episode of the Nerfherder Council is brought to you by Audible. Visit audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download.
I'm Kevin Thompson. I'm Chubray from Return of the Jedi. You're listening to the Nerfherder Council.
Why, you stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder.
You can't use that word. Only we can use that word.
Why, you stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder.
You can't use that word. Only we can use that word.
You're tuned in to the Nerfherder Council, your source for Star Wars opinion, conversation, and debate. Featuring your hosts, JT.
Stormtrooper armor deflects everything except Orback hooves. They're like a horse version of Thomas the Tank Engine.
AJ.
Yeah, Rebels is a lot like our show, where we think we have a good idea and then it just fails in execution.
Steve.
The vacuum of space does crazy things to your beehole out there, man.
Misa back.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Nerfherder Council. I am your host, JT. AJ and Steve will be with me shortly. Thanks, everyone, for tuning into the last couple of episodes. Hopefully, I've got my internet fixed because apparently I looked like dog crap the last couple episodes. So let's hope that is fixed. If you would like to interact with the show live, feel free to tune in on our show Facebook page. Just simply look up the Nerfherder Council on Facebook. You can find it there. You can also do so from our YouTube channel. However, I did get an error from the streaming service that YouTube is having some problems. So apparently you can't do it from there tonight. So if you'd like to take part in tonight's show, just simply go to our show Facebook page if you'd like to comment, so they will pop up. Apparently, I can't see the comments from my personal feed, so feel free to watch from my personal page, but I won't be able to see what you're saying. So, as usual, we are brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download. If you would like to get some Nerfherder Council swag, you can customize pretty much anything you can think of. If you just go to shop.nerfherdercouncil.com, they got t-shirts and hoodies and coffee mugs and anything. It's crazy all the stuff that they have. So make sure you go check that out. Support the show. I would give you a Patreon page or something, but we don't have one of those. So I'm not tech savvy enough to do one of those. So what you see is what you get. Everything's free. All right. So anyways, real quick show note here. I record from up in my man cave, and as of 2 weeks ago, adopted a new furry family member who is currently up here with me, and she's quite loud. So if you hear my new cat Piper, I apologize. We adopted a little special needs kitty a couple weeks ago, so she's kind of learning the lay of the land up here. So that's what's going on. If you hear some feline background noise, Steve is here, so let's bring Steve onto the show.
Howdy, sir.
How's it going?
It's Wednesday.
Your mic is a little bit hot, my friend.
No, that's on you. I haven't changed it since last time.
Well, it was a little bit hot last time, so there you go.
Well, you think you would have told me that before now.
I did tell you that. Just the
no,
same
you
way
did.
Yes, I did.
No, you did just now. Don't make me start cussing already when we already said we're not going to.
Now. So, so AJ should be on in a minute. I guess he's eating dinner or something. I guess texting him and telling him 8:15 p.m. is, a couple days ago.
I got made fun of for not being on time last time.
Oh, don't worry. He's getting made fun of. He's getting made fun of now. So, okay. So, why don't we just get into it here? So,
did you already do the pushing thing?
I did, and I don't know. You probably don't know this, but as I said, I told everybody go to the show Facebook page if you'd like to comment and
yes, please, because honestly, that helps us out. because the more clicks we get, the more listens we get, the more that we get pushed to, the front pages of things, like once we go on to Twitch and YouTube, we're on YouTube already, but like it just helps us. Plus, the more interacting we get, the better it is for everybody. It's because everybody gets to have fun with it. I mean, last show, I think we had 14 or 17 missed messages or something like that. And that's kind of a killer to us, because that's the whole point of us doing this, is to, be able to talk to everybody and have fun with it. So
totally agree.
If we miss what you're doing, we might as well go back to doing what we used to do and just interact with the three of us and ignore the rest of the world. So,
right. Yeah. So, I got to thank our buddy Mark here. He was the one that was emailing us and saying, hey, I'm trying to interact. And he kind of said, why don't you put it on the screen? And I was like, oh, wow. So, thanks, Mark, for that. And Dan Terry, my buddy from Discography Discussion, I did a 15-minute guest spot on their show for a Patreon episode. Was it last weekend or the weekend before? Weekend before. And it ended up like a 6-hour conversation. But he and his co-host, Joe, ended up, I think, fixing my internet. So hopefully, Dan, it looks normal again. But we got our buddy Craig in here. So there we go. Here we go. All right. So he wants to talk Mando, which is exactly where we're going.
Yeah.
So we're doing that.
We got 2 episodes to cover.
There's my cousin Joe. What's up, man? So this will be good. So we kind of talked about the interaction already, but one thing I did want to let you know, Steve, that I kind of talked about at the top of the show before you jumped in. YouTube's having some kind of outage, so if you are trying to watch on the YouTube, you're not seeing what I'm saying right now. So but so for a normal episode,
so now we're down to one thing that we're broadcasting on. But it's still out.
So for a normal episode, you can check us out on our show Facebook page where you guys are at now, or go to our YouTube channel and you can comment there and it'll pop up on the screen here and we can get your guys' take on some stuff. So
you could go to the YouTube page now. It's not going to do you any good, but you can go to it.
They won't know. So, but no, we were talking during the week. Obviously, The Mandalorian has been out for two episodes now. And I think it's pretty much universally agreed upon that the first episode was awesome.
Yes.
The Easter eggs and everything, they were there in full force again, which is always, just amazing. And we wanted to talk about, obviously, the second episode. We had a few things we wanted to talk about, but apparently a few things have made the rounds that are kind of negative about this episode. And well,
do you want to go in depth on the first one a little bit and wait for AJ or something, or do you just want to get straight into the second one?
No, we told him 8:15, so his loss. But
sorry, I'm dying here, so I keep drinking while I'm looking at the camera. It's not not professional, but whatever.
Hey, we're podcasters, man. We're not TV personnel, so
right.
So if you haven't seen the second episode, spoilers. If you haven't seen the first episode, lots of spoilers.
Yes.
So let's get right into it, because we'll get like the ugly stuff out of the way, because you and I disagree on the current episode, and I think that warrants some discussion. So
yes, we do. And I will say, when I said what I said in the text thread, there's definitely things of it's not like the whole let's just get into it. It's not that I hated the whole thing. It's just that it was clearly a filler episode, and I don't think it furthered the story in the long run by any stretch of the imagination. So it's not that it was 100% bad. The X-Wing part was really cool, stuff like that. But as a whole,
Filoni was back.
Yeah. But as a whole, it was kind of a weak episode compared to the first one too. And the first one punched you in the face every 5 seconds. The second one was just like, eh.
Well, I liked it. I can see why you would say it's kind of like a filler episode. One thing that was really cool is pointed out by my cousin today was that, and I didn't know this, that apparently like the ice cavern and stuff like that was taken directly from concept art for The Empire Strikes Back, and I didn't know that. So he posted pictures of that on my Facebook page, and I was like, wow, yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. So
and that's
that was kind of cool.
That adds to it. Yeah, I'm not going to complain about that. That's pretty cool, especially that they did that on purpose. I don't know if that was done purposely. If it was, it's something that Filoni did to just kind of show homage or something like that. I'm fine with that, especially in a filler episode. It's totally okay to get away with that kind of stuff. Like,
I just kind of think like. Your wife says boring filler. Go figure. Your wife agrees with you.
Yeah. Because honestly, that was my very first thought. As soon as the credits hit, I was like, "Yeah, boring filler episode." It's like not that it was horrible. The X-Wing guys were cool. I love the fact that they came and saved the day at the end, and then Mando was like, "Hey, you can help me with this ship," and the X-Wing guys are like, "Or you can eat a fat one and we're gonna leave."
Yeah, fix it yourself, dude.
Yeah, we did enough for you, you ungrateful prick. Just be happy with what you got. We're leaving, dummy.
All right, so I guess it's a Canadian dude is the other pilot. That's not nearly as cool as Dave Filoni. It's like,
I personally just felt like the first episode, all the action, he's kicking ass out there with the sand people and killing things, and then the Boba Fett stuff, and the end where, I mean, I guess technically, if you want to throw the air quotes up, technically, that could be any random clone that was at the end of the episode. But I mean, I think we all know exactly what it was. But like I said, technically, I guess it could have been a clone, but whatever.
Yeah.
But then the second one, it's just like the Mandalorian turned into the galaxy's worst Uber driver. And that's what the whole episode was about. He was the world's worst Uber driver for the world's worst soon-to-be mother.
Well, I mean, but it kind of like furthers the character. The whole, that he's a good guy at heart, but he's still kind of a badass, I suppose.
Right.
It's like they have so many surprises coming up, and they're letting so many things leak ahead of time that I think they kind of need episodes that are a little bit slower. Because otherwise, it doesn't really hit, because at the end of the first episode, and we'll bring AJ's timely ass in here. 11 minutes late. So
dude, video setups suck. You know this.
Especially when you found out about the show on Monday. I didn't do anything about it until Wednesday. No, but anyway, so bringing you into the loop here. They kind of need like a slower episode, because, at the end of episode 1, you come out with the whole Boba Fett reveal. And like you said, maybe it was, maybe it could be a clone or anything, but I think we all know that that's Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So after that, if you just start coming out, every episode with, oh my God, it's gonna kind of.
I totally understand doing it. Every TV show in the history of man does that, but I mean, so I'm not mad at him. I'm just saying that it was not a good episode. Not that I'm mad at the series or anything like that. I understand that is how this stuff works, but it doesn't make it any better of an episode.
See, when you say
what we've seen is that every episode we think that like doesn't tie into anything. We're like, why did they waste their time showing us this stuff? It pays off later in the season.
Yeah.
Like, I felt the same way about
that can show itself. Absolutely.
The Tatooine episode last season was fun, but the little reveal at the end, like that was a pretty big like Easter egg. But when they got to like the prison break episode, I was like, I don't think we really learned anything from this other than that he used to be a real piece of crap and now he's better, I guess.
Yeah. It's kind of like advancing the character.
Yeah. He's reformed trash.
Yeah.
And yet here that paid off in this episode. So
yeah,
it seems like anytime they're throwing us unconnected tissue, it's just because we're getting like the front half of that connection, and then the back half will come and like fill in the blanks.
Yeah, I mean, we got 8 episodes or something. So I mean, this whole thing can rear its head again 4 episodes from now and make total sense. Who knows? But
yeah,
do we know is it 8 or is it more? This
I thought it was 8, but I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it's 8.
Okay.
8 sounds about right, but who the hell knows? It's Disney Plus. They could do 40 episodes, so I mean, they don't care.
Yeah. No, I understand where you're coming from, like saying that it's filler. I guess I could, I guess I could see that, but then the eggs. Oh, we'll get to the eggs. Believe me.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could see that, but I think for me, I kind of like I compare it to like Rebels. We've talked a lot about how Rebels was like cool episode, filler episode, and the filler episodes of Rebels never did anything. Like AJ just made the point that a lot of the stuff that we've seen that kind of seemed a little pointless in this show always ties into something later, so it actually does serve a purpose. Whereas the stuff in like Rebels, it was just it was okay. What the hell was that for? And you never really see it again. So
right,
for that reason, I'm okay with it. So and again, I think they need to slow it down here or there, just to kind of like keep the journey going, because otherwise it's going to move at the speed of light, and you're going to run out of. It's going to lose its effect.
Right.
So I mean, they kind of have to do that.
Yeah, and you also can't throw amazing episodes at everybody every single week, because you're going to run out of ideas, and then next season, the entire season's trash. Next thing you know, so
yeah,
I totally understand it, but until there's a reason why we can come back to this again, I said it just seems like the guy was an Uber driver for a horrible mother, and that's all I see from the episode.
Yeah. I mean, I will give you this. I mean, if you're comparing quality wise from the first to the second episode, I mean, the first episode is one of the best ones. I mean, we only have 9 episodes, but that is up there at the top, I would think.
Yeah.
I mean, that episode was killer.
Mm-hmm.
So, the stuff that they show you, and when you've got a crate dragon, and they bring the Easter eggs of like the pearl in and stuff like that, and all the different things, it's kind of hard to top that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So yeah, you're probably right. I mean, after what episode 1 was, it would have been. It's honestly really hard to try to top that in the second week, especially when you got 6 to 8 more episodes or whatever it is. So
yeah,
it's hard to top what they did in the first episode. That's for sure. It's just it really felt like a huge letdown to me, but I understand why they have to do that kind of stuff, though.
Yeah. I mean, AJ, did you feel it was filler, or where? I mean, you haven't really weighed in on this, even on our text thread. So,
well, yeah, I'm still wondering like why they spent so much time on this chapter of it. I mean, he got stuck, and they ripped off like aliens, basically. So, like, so far, it doesn't seem to like. We talked about it in a vacuum. I'm like, why did they spend so much time showing us this story? But I'm assuming that when we get like this week's episode, that it'll all like make its own little like self-contained story, and also build towards some larger narrative. Yeah. Like when they get to the planet, this is the thing. Like they did this last season too. And I had this objection with the second episode where they fought the Mudhorn, which same thing. I was like, okay, so all we showed was that he had a hell of a time getting back to his ship and getting off the planet. That was really the takeaway at that point. I'm like, I don't think we really need to see how hard it is for him to just get from one place to another, when what we really want to see is him at these places. Yeah. So overall, I'm not too much of a fan, but we'll see where it goes.
Speaking of that, I did have to laugh when he ran from the X-Wings in the second one. It's like the equivalent of trying to outrun a couple of Lamborghinis in a school bus. Right? Where the hell, like even the X-Wing pilots said it. They were like, where the hell does this guy think he's going?
Well, and they weren't very menacing either, because they're like, you better stop. And he's like, or what? You're going to not shoot me? like what? I mean, if I'm him, I'm just like, wait a minute. They haven't shot me in like the last 20 minutes of flying. I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Like, let's see if they even have blasters on that thing. Like, so, yeah, that was kind of interesting. Like, I love the Dave Filoni thing. That's cool that he's in there. And, again, the callbacks are great. So, I mean, I guess I don't mind it as much, just because it's, there's so many cool things to see that it's,
it's because it's Star Wars, John. You have a tough time ever finding anything wrong with Star Wars. So
on our next episode, a full review of Rebels.
Oh God, yeah. I was gonna say, like, the things that you really love, you do find a hard time trying to find flaws in them. I mean, you probably like Van Halen 3. So
I do like parts of that record. I do.
See parts of that record. See?
Oh my God, dude, give it up.
I used to Fire in the Hole is a great song.
See, again, parts of it. Same thing. Episode 2, there was parts of it that were great. As a whole,
not so much.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
So
I tell you what, we've never seen a ship take a pounding like this before, though. Like, is there anything that
I
can
know,
actually,
because if it got any worse,
like once and for all,
able to air on Disney
ship?
Plus.
Yeah. I always wonder how many parts he's got on that thing, and like how he can always manage to, like, he's got big hunks of metal and wires and computer parts. Like, what is it like? Is he flying like the Home Depot of the galaxy?
Yeah, there you
go.
Every episode they
show and tell.
What is that?
That's the Lego Razor Crest.
When did you get that?
Recently. They had a special for Star Wars purchases at the Lego store, so I had to burn some rewards points and get that thing.
Isn't that not the Laser Crest though? Didn't they have to name it something else?
Yeah, there's some trademark problem or something where they had to call it like the Mandalorian ship or something like that. Mandalorian transport, I think it's called.
Yeah, it's something super generic. Yeah.
How can they not?
I don't know what else is
use their
called
own
a Razor Crest that they're in some trademark war with, but yeah.
It's probably like one of those guys, like that guy that bought the trademarks for all those potential names for the Washington football team.
Yeah.
It's like somebody just goes and buys a ton of Star Wars property names and stuff, and they're like, "Hey, you can't use this, dummies."
Yeah. And nobody checked it, so they go to do the Lego set, and like, oh, we did not think this through. Where's our research team? Like, what the hell?
By the way, something we're going to see at some point this season, I'm predicting, we are going to see the escape pod, because it's on this. It's on the HasLab toy.
Yeah.
We haven't heard any mention of an escape pod yet, but it's in every toy they make. So it's coming.
Spoiler alert.
He's gonna crash it, and then he's gonna get out and go, "Oh no, this sucks," and then fix it. He's gonna open some hatch, and it's gonna have all the parts to build a second one in the hatch for the main one.
Yeah.
So.
And the apparent lawn maintenance trailer that he drags behind him everywhere has a duplicate of every part he needs for the ship, apparently.
Right.
Dude, let's talk about him fixing the ship at the end, by the way. This whole thing, he pressurized the cockpit. I get, why in story you need the cockpit, right?
Right.
But it's... what do they call glass in Star Wars? Like transparent steel or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, the one thing that you cannot just patch up is the glass. And yet that thing got pierced 5 different times by the spiders. And he's like, don't seal it up. We're good in here. Like, really? That was the thing that you were able to fix?
He had
you couldn't
extra
fix the metal,
man.
But the glass you could repair. Apparently, Safelite. He works for Safelite. That's what it is.
That's why they were down in the hole for so long. They had to wait for the Safelite guy to find him to replace the windshield.
That's how the X-Wings found him. They followed the Safelite guy.
He finally gets down there and he's like, "You know what, buddy? I don't know if your insurance is going to cover this."
Have these eggs. Whoa, wait a minute.
The eggs.
Yeah, dude, as much as I love seeing Filoni back, by the way, I swear the only reason he was because they've got to have other X-Wing pilots, but I think Filoni's goal at this point is just to become a action figure. He needs a certain amount of screen time before they can justify putting him on a cardboard.
It's like trying to monetize your YouTube videos. You need a certain amount of hours or something.
Right?
Yeah. Am I
of all the pilots? The guy has been he's nowhere near that outpost or whatever from Chapter 6, right? But same X-Wing pilot shows up. Come on. But it's Dave Filoni, so it's cool.
Yeah. See, now, am I the only one that finds it a little disorienting when he's on screen? Because it'd be like if George Lucas is the other pilot. You're like, it kind of takes you out of it. Like, if you know who he is and you're so used to seeing
a little
him,
bit,
you're like, I don't know about that. It's kind of like Greg Grunberg as Snap Wexley. Like, for some reason, he just looks like a guy cosplaying as an X-Wing pilot to me. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why, but it's like I just see him. I'm like, that looks kind of generic. Like, did they give you the crappy costume, or why? Why do you not look cool like the other X-Wing pilots? Like, I don't get it.
I had that same problem anytime Jon Favreau does a voice. Like, he was in Solo. When he was the heavy Mando, I'm like, dude, all I hear is Jon Favreau. I don't hear a character.
Yeah. I mean, well, Rio Durant was an easy one for that one because he didn't really do anything but his own voice,
right?
You know, so yeah, I don't. Anyway, so yeah, let's get to these eggs, since this is all the rage now, and it
this is so 2020.
Yeah, so for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, there are several articles out there now with and butthurt Twitter users. Complaining about Baby Yoda eating Frog Lady's eggs and saying that, that's supposed to be, like the one you guys sent me today said that, Baby Yoda's evil and they should never show that and
cancel him. Cancel Baby Yoda.
Cancel Baby Yoda because, that's the woman's offspring and stuff. And it's like, man, like, first of all, he's an alien in a television show.
Oh, God, I don't want to say this, but I'm sorry. Originally, she's in the cockpit, and the bitch left the eggs down in the storage area. If she really cared all that much, why do you leave them in steerage? I'm sorry.
When they're flopping around, if they had to do a whole lot of flying and they were down there, if it bounced around enough, would it become like scrambled eggs? She'd go down there and be like,
right?
Like, I wondered. I'm like, wow, those are resilient. But
you literally left a toddler to babysit the eggs downstairs. Worst mother in the world.
Yeah.
Crack mothers don't leave their 4-month-old toddlers to watch their other kids at the house.
Yeah. Is Baby Yoda evil, or is Frog Lady just a really terrible mother?
No, Baby Yoda's hungry and she's a horrendous mother. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. This for me, when I first saw it last week, I couldn't believe it. I saw it on Twitter. Someone was posting about it, and I'm going, at what point does this cross over into being too sensitive? Like, it's an alien in a TV show. Like, do you have to read that much into it? I mean, and then, even one of the art directors came out and tweeted, he's like, they're unfertilized. It's like, it'd be like us going and having an omelet for breakfast, and then people were saying, no, that's not true. Like, because she said that's the last of her line and everything like that. It's like, well, how's the child supposed to know? And then the article you guys shared with me this morning said, well, he should know better because he's like 50. It's like, okay, he's of the same species as Yoda, who died at over 900 years old.
He's still a toddler. Just because he's 50 years old, he is a toddler to that species of alien. It doesn't matter. We're in our 40s. It's like, if we live to be 800 years old, we're literally children still. So we're not adults.
I think the problem is
look at the damn character.
Someone who's like sentient. The fact that the eggs actually become like a creature that can think for itself and speak makes it a little bit more than just like a chicken, but not really.
Yeah.
Plus, we don't actually know if the child is like good or evil. We're just everyone wants him to be good because he's cute, but that doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't matter if he's evil either. He was just hungry and he's a toddler. What do you expect?
Yeah, why isn't anyone piling on Mando for being such a terrible caretaker to this kid? Like, the kid's super hungry. He takes him to like the worst places and watches him commit murders and stuff all over the place. Like,
and again, he's a toddler. This stupid egg jar that she has the things in, it's like the equivalent of a baby sticking their finger in an electrical socket that doesn't have a cover on it. Like, how the hell can a toddler open the damn thing in the first place to get to the eggs? Again, this is your fault, Mom. You're horrible. This is all on you.
It didn't have the best security system. I didn't.
Yeah. And then she's the one that didn't listen to Mando and left the ship because the eggs needed to be warm. The thing was lit up. We had 2 leopard geckos here at the house. Trust me. I know what it looks like when you have a heat lamp on the damn thing. The eggs were warm enough. She did not need to leave the ship. She's an idiot, and she put everybody in harm's way, and everything is her fault in that episode.
Well, don't forget that was the other thing that Baby Yoda did. He ate another creature's offspring when he ate the spider. So now we have to feel bad for ice spiders too.
Oh God!
So,
call PETA. Let's cancel the whole show.
The child has to be a vegetarian for people to not get upset. That's what you're saying?
Apparently so. Yeah. Oh, and then Craig nailed it. We haven't seen him eat very many times. Maybe he was dying.
And hell, even that one article pointed out that he force choked Kara last episode. So not only is he eating people's babies, he's a woman beater.
Yeah.
Maybe we really do need to cancel Baby Yoda. Maybe he is absolutely horrible. Maybe they're right.
I'm gonna if cancel culture catches up with Baby Yoda, I am not going to be happy at all. Certain things are sacred, man. Just let a TV show be a TV show. It's not like it's all people, saying, oh, this is, supposed it's close to real life. No, man, it's aliens and stuff. Come on, like, what are you doing?
Like you said, people are just too sensitive nowadays. It's kind of pathetic.
Nobody said anything about the Mudhorn egg in the second episode of last season. Like,
the Jawas just punch right into that damn thing and start wiping it all over their faces and stuff. But we're okay with that.
Yeah, the giant.
No outrage over the crate dragon either. Crate dragon's just living his life.
Yeah, crate dragons' lives matter.
Yeah,
should be going after them like that.
That's always my problem with this stuff. Is that it's like, how far are you going to take this? Like, what are you getting offended about? Like, why? If you're watching a show, and maybe it's just me, but if you're watching a show and seeing this, if these are the things that you see, like if you're watching Baby Yoda eat eggs and go, that's someone's unfertilized children, you're like, oh boy. Like if you're seeing that instead of seeing like Baby Yoda doing something goofy, like what?
Yeah,
you need more joy in your life.
Worse, if you see it for anything different than what it is, which is an alien eating an egg, sorry, you have bigger problems in life to worry about. Honestly,
yeah, you need more joy in your life, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. You must be huge fun at parties. Like the
same
person
people that turn off National Geographic when the lion actually catches the gazelle.
Yes, but now come on. Seriously, are we not gonna act like in the Crate Dragon episode when they set out that bantha for bait that we weren't like, oh no, they're not gonna do that. Because I know I was.
Oh, that was such a Jurassic Park moment.
I was thrilled when they ate the sand people instead. When it jumped up and got the sand people instead, I was like, yes.
It was funny, but I really didn't care about the bantha either. So it was funny that it went after the sand people, yes, but I really did not feel any kind of sadness for the bantha at any time.
Banthas are kind of cute, I just know they're elephants under there, so maybe that's what it is.
Well, yeah, back in the day, I don't know. Do they still do that? That's a good question, I guess. I know they did it in the 70s, but
they look real enough to me.
Yeah, we'll go with it. Yeah. Until proven otherwise, let's assume they still do it the way they did in 77.
Right. Yeah, no,
Plus, I love the idea that they shipped an elephant over to, wherever they filmed this at so it could sit in the stage.
Yeah.
Like, how do you transport an elephant all the way to LA or wherever they're filming this thing from, right?
a big truck, you would assume, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess my problem with the whole uproar over the Baby Yoda eggs thing is it's like you can poke holes into everything, and I just I mean, like, for example, Gina Carano's character is female, so are people going to start getting pissed off if she gets her ass beat or something? Like, is that domestic an example of domestic violence? Like, I mean, how far is this going to go?
Right. You're right.
I mean,
there's no end to all this stuff. I mean, you go back. People love going back in time. I mean, go back to episode 3 getting released and Anakin's force choking Padme.
I thought of that too.
It's just like, I don't want to give people, soft people ideas, the snowflakes out there and everything, but like that's exactly what it is. Is that like we can nitpick probably dozens of times between all the TV shows and all the movies and go, okay, somebody should be offended by this or will be offended by this or will be. So it's like, where does it end at? Like if you're offended by a puppet eating fictitious eggs, then where does it end? And the bad thing is a lot of these companies will start to water down their product because of that, because they're afraid of the backlash and stuff. So hopefully that's just not a thing. But
I think it's just going to fall on deaf ears. Personally, it's the way fandom is these days. There's always somebody posting something negative just to get attention. I mean, otherwise you're going to end up with something like the Super Friends cartoon in the 70s where they literally couldn't show violence or deaths or weapons of any kind in a show about people trying to conquer the world. So
I mean, we all went through that. There was a portion of time in the 80s. A Ninja Turtles movie came out that they weren't allowed to use their weapons in. Nightmare on Elm Street 5. I don't think Freddy actually killed anybody in the movie. I think it was 5. I think it was the Dream Child or something. But we went through that time in our lives already that people got so scared of everything violent that nobody was allowed to pull it off. And that would just be, I hope it falls on deaf ears because Lord knows we don't need. Mandalorian is cool. He literally cut somebody in half with a door in the first season. And if we start getting rid of things like that, and watering the show down, then it's not going to make it very fun for anybody watching. So
all those people saying that like Rian Johnson ruined Star Wars or whatever. Like, no, like eliminating cool stuff like that. That's what's going to ruin Star Wars.
The people that are claiming that these guys have all ruined Star Wars don't even realize that them running their mouths are what's ruining Star Wars, because you being offended by every damn thing they do is forcing Disney and Lucas and all these guys to water the product down. And then you go, it's so bad now. It's not what I remember. Well, it's your fault, stupid. So
you kill what you love. Yeah. Speaking of ruining Star Wars, didn't we just get another comment again this week, AJ, on our video about the Last Jedi documentary? The director and the Jedi.
I got to pull it up here, but it was another one where they were called Ruin Johnson. So Ruin Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy were the worst things that ever happened to Star Wars.
Those guys are so cute with the way they name things like that.
I just anytime I see someone, anytime I see someone like using like one of those goofy names like that, I'm like, all right, I just no credibility. That's just, to me, it's just stupid. So I'm like, whatever. And I can't believe people are still on that thing about ruin Star Wars. It's like, well, how did it ruin Star Wars? I mean, we've gotten so much content. Like, obviously, it's not ruined. I mean, you can't hate everything. I mean, we're going to have an Obi-Wan Kenobi show, the Cassian Andor show. Eventually, they'll make movies. You got The Mandalorian. I mean, who knows what
the crazy thing is? A lot of people that complain about how Disney ruined Star Wars are the ones that are running around talking about how amazing Rogue One and The Mandalorian is and stuff.
It doesn't look ruined to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's what it is. Is all these people, they've lived with all the characters from the Skywalker saga for so long. They've got it set in their head how that story had to go, and anything that doesn't match up to their expectations, nope, cancel it. Terrible. It's garbage.
Yeah,
new characters, said it, and everyone's like, okay, this is cool. I'll take this. Yeah.
like we've said it many times that these people remind us of comic book guy from The Simpsons. And I'm pretty sure that's exactly who we're dealing with every single time somebody leaves a comment like that. And the thing is, like you said, when they use those names and all that stuff and they lose their credibility, it's almost always the same regurgitated couple of sentences every single time. It's like nobody ever says anything new. They just say that it's ruined and they make zero, claims as to reasons behind that or anything. They're just, I don't know. I hate dealing with people sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is all this stuff is produced ahead of time, so it's not like they're busy making the back half of the season while the front half is airing. So however they intended the story to go is how it's going to go. People can complain all they want, but these stories are in the bin. They're ready to broadcast. You're not changing anything. You might get something influencing season 3, but this one is done, folks. Like, take it or leave it.
Well, I mean, they've already done the writing and stuff like that for, season 3. So, it's planned out well in advance. So,
and I'm pretty sure the merchandise sales are bearing out that they're doing a good job.
Did you see? Did you see they already have a Baby Yoda with the eggs Funko Pop?
Yep. Oh, really?
Yeah. Out, like days after, just a couple days after the episode, it was. So I'm like, they had to have known about this.
They know where their stuff is coming from. Don't they have like a Mando Mondays thing now, where like every Monday they debut new merchandise for the show?
Hey, YouTube comment. YouTube must have
chicken nuggies.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, how'd you get it on YouTube, man? What the heck, I thought YouTube was down tonight.
Yeah. Disney was like, oh, you're triggered by the episode? Hold my beer. Here's a Funko Pop.
Yeah. They're just purposely going at people now. That would
not only do we not care that you're offended, but we're going to merchandise it too.
Right. Well, there we go.
Hi, Eric. What's up, man? Good to see you.
All right, so supposedly there's a Boba Fett show in the works. So this is I really want that to happen, because then we're going to see a bunch of Boba Fett, and it may completely shoot AJ's theory all to hell that Boba Fett sucks. So,
or it could further it.
When did I ever say Boba Fett sucks?
You said he's like overrated. You said he's way overrated. And that you don't understand why people like him. You said that a couple times. Don't forget, we've been doing this for 5 years. So, it was a couple of years ago, so you probably don't remember.
I'm amazed you do.
Well, of course I do, because I love Boba Fett, and I thought you were wrong.
No, Boba Fett's... I like the fact that Boba Fett, never did anything good in the movies and had this, legendary status. Actually... Eric here, who just chimed in, he should be able to fill in the blanks. He's the big Legends guy. So he would know all the backstory of all the tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina and the bounty hunters and stuff. Yeah. So we always heard they had to give Boba Fett extra stuff in the books to justify the hype that he got just from showing up in the movies, which I don't have a problem with personally. I thought that was pretty cool.
All I know is that if they're making a Boba Fett series, they're probably going to say how he got out of the Sarlacc. And if it's anything different than what was on Robot Chicken, I'm not going to accept it as canon.
I was just thinking about Robot Chicken with all the Boba Fett stuff. I'm okay.
Ooh, I got a lightsaber. Ooh, I got 2.
I was up there "Bow, see you, Jedi. Bow, see you, Han Solo."
I said, I will accept that as canon, and I will not accept anything Disney produces as anything otherwise. So,
well, at least
we've talked about head canon before. That one will be mine.
Oh man!
Well, if you hear Seth Green and Breckenmeyer get writing credit, then we know what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah. They just pulled stuff from Robot Chicken and from Detours. That's where the humor is coming from in the Mandalorian show. It's basically concept art, old Ralph McQuarrie concept art, and then jokes from a show that never aired.
Right.
Taking old script pieces and stuff. All right,
If
here
the
we go.
character shows up with the voice of Scott Evil, we'll know what we got going on our hands.
Yep. so we gave the Sarlacc Tums. There we go. And it was simply a matter of anti-galactic antacid, or intergalactic. Excuse me, anti-galactic.
Yes.
Nice. Yes, I knew what I meant. So intergalactic antacid.
See, I love those throwaway lines. Like, remember the line from the first episode of the season where they're like, "No Sarlacc pit is empty. It is if you eat the Sarlacc." Like, what a great throwaway line. That was so good.
Yep. Yeah, the dialogue that they put together in these things is awesome. You know, it's.
But now they're eating Sarlaccs. I mean,
oh jeez, oh no.
What
Offended.
if the Sarlacc was a mother? Oh no.
Offended. Hold on, I need a pad of paper. We gotta start writing down all the things we're offended by now. I don't have enough paper. I don't.
That's what we'll have to do one of these times, is watch one of the movies and write down everything that people could potentially get offended by.
Oh God.
The only problem is if we did that episode, like if someone caught hold of it and it accidentally went viral, which for us would be like 21 people saw it, like people would actually think we might be serious. So
well, let's
start.
That. Let's start. Phantom Menace, the Trade Federation.
Yeah. I mean, you really could.
So we're 2 minutes into the first movie, we're already offended by something.
Yep. I mean, it's all right there, man. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, back to the whole ruining Star Wars thing. I don't understand how that's. I mean, Disney ruined Star Wars, or Rian Johnson ruined Star Wars. Like, again, like if you're getting all this extra content, especially like you said, AJ, your buddy Eric, being a Legends fan, look at all the stuff that they're bringing out of Legends and making canon in live action. And it's not even just little stuff. It's not like they all of a sudden have like the Islamari running across the screen at one point. Like, oh, that was a half-second cameo of an Islamari. Like, oh wow, look at that. Like, I mean, they've had Thrawn. They're bringing in like I said, like some of the Boba Fett stuff. Like they're doing all these things that all these different things are coming in that people liked from stuff that technically doesn't count anymore. So
right.
they're obviously taking that, that segment of the fan base into account. So, I mean, how are they ruining it? They're expanding it. I mean, it's, to me, it's been very inclusive. I think I just completely, like I said, AJ, I think you nailed it on the head that it's, the disconnect comes with the established characters. Cause I think, the biggest example is, Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi, like the hardcores that are all against the change and everything. They hate what they did with Luke Skywalker, but what's going to happen to somebody over 30 years? They're not just going to go from super Luke to double super Luke. I mean, things happen. It was a very realistic portrayal, but to your point, if it would have been just some random Jedi no one knew, and they said, okay, well, this guy was like, he did this huge thing, and then 30 years ago, and now he's like he's very grizzled and jaded and stuff like that. They'd be like, oh yeah, that's he's an old man now. That would happen.
Yeah.
So
one of Gwen's friends uses that argument. It's like, oh, Luke Skywalker never would have did something like that, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that you personally knew a fictional character. That exactly how he lives every day of his life between the 30 years that we haven't seen him on screen. My bad.
Right.
I'm sorry that you had all that personal information and you don't like what the hell it is now. My bad.
I actually had the Luke Skywalker conversation with somebody over the weekend, and they went, Luke Skywalker wouldn't do that. I'm like, but he did. Like, no, he wouldn't do that. I'm like, but he did. It's canon. So guess what? He did do that.
Yeah.
You can't get away from it, man. It happened. Yeah.
Like, it's there now.
So, I mean, I don't know what you're looking for. I mean, it's kind of like the whole not my president thing. Like, yeah, he is. Like, you can say it all you want. That doesn't make it so. Luke Skywalker is a pissed off old man on an island avoiding the Force, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, exactly. It is what it is. Just because you love the character and you don't like the way that it turned out, you can't just make up your own story and go, well, this is what I believe now. Yeah. Like that's not how movies work, okay?
Yeah. And the green milk. Did you see any other creatures on that on that island that can provide dairy? No. So the porgs are the protein. The sea cow is the dairy. You know, it gets his nutrients and minerals somewhere. At least he's eating healthy and eating fish. I mean, that's good for you.
Yeah.
You know?
You think the caretakers came from eggs?
I certainly hope not, because, God, if we found out that Luke was eating eggs on the island, whoo, boy.
Or even worse, Ray, when she cut the rock with the lightsaber and it smashed through those baskets, they were the wheelbarrows. What if they were full of eggs and it just crushed them all?
That's why they're endangered in Mando's time.
Yep. Hashtag Ray genocide. Let's cancel episodes 7, 8, and 9.
Right?
Oh, wait, I've got my timelines mixed up. No, this is actually showing why they were on the island in the first place. They ran away to a sanctuary because people kept eating the damn eggs.
We got to hide these things, man. They're delicious to everyone but us.
Right.
Why are we so damn tasty?
Our offspring are like the Bob Evans of the galaxy.
Is there a way to tweet an entire episode of Futurama at someone? Because I'd really like to show that person the Poplars episode.
I have never seen that one.
I'm sure you could find a YouTube link to it.
Do you remember Lur from Omicron Persei 8?
Yes.
The big like lizard horny guy with the cape.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So they come across a planet that's full of all these like really tasty little things to eat, and they bring them back to Earth, and they call them poplars, and they sell them at like Fishy Joe's restaurant. They find out they were on a breeding planet for Omicron Persei 8, and they've been eating the offspring, and they just keep eating them. They're like, "This is so horrible! It's just terrible! I can't believe we're doing this."
So I think we've extrapolated out that the caretakers are actually descendants of Frog Lady. Is that where we're going with this? I suppose.
Sure. I guess she looked more like a leopard gecko than a frog lady, but we'll go with it.
How great that her character name is Frog Lady.
Yeah, right.
They didn't even bother with some like Star Warsy name. They're like, you know what, Yak Face was good enough back in the day. Frog Lady's good enough for this one.
Exactly.
Right. They're just getting lazier and lazier. Boy, these names are a pain, man. Like, you know, like
who's that guy? Who's that guy in that third episode of Mandalorian? Let's look it up on Wikipedia. Alien 8. Oh, wow, good job, Lucas. You really thought that one through.
Oh, look, Alien 8 is fighting Cowboy Hat Guy.
It's on the storyboards. They're getting ready to film and everything. Alien number 8. 7, sit your ass down. We need 8 over here. That's why we numbered you guys. Get it right. Come on. You and Cowboy Hat Guy, get over here.
They have to write it on their hands, so they're like, Alien 8. Oh, no, I'm 6. Like, they can't keep track.
7, get over there by the moisture evaporator. 8, get over by the Cowboy Hat Guy. What are you doing? Let's go. You guys are killing me out here.
Right. Speaking of moisture evaporators and, speaking of all the callbacks, how about having Treadwell in this last episode? That was pretty cool.
Oh God. Yeah.
And then using like a pod racer engine to cook the meat and everything. Like,
yeah, right.
Oh.
Speaking of pod racer engines, first episode, was that meant to be off of Anakin's? Okay, yeah. I thought it was. It totally looked like it, but I was like, it seems too easy to claim that was off Anakin. So I'm like, it must just be like one that resembled it or something.
No, they came out and said that it was.
Okay, all right, that's cool. I thought it was, but I really thought that was too easy of an Easter egg to go that way. So I just kind of was like, it looks like it, but it can't be, kind of thing.
Yeah. So real quick, and then we can close up. But I just remembered this. Speaking of lazy character names, and then even they have a lazy character name with even a lazy character. Like, let's just have a giant bug and call him Dr. Mandible. Like,
oh God, that was great. That was so good. Oh my God, I love that.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, really? Like a giant ant-looking dude is Dr. Mandible? Okay. All right,
I don't understand how people can't have fun with this whole franchise. I mean, you got Dr. Mandible, Frog Lady, and they're doing a Lego Star Wars holiday special. They're acknowledging the holiday special. They're bringing it all in. It's awesome.
I think I watched the trailer for that last night. Isn't that different? I thought that looks kind of like its own thing. I think they're using the concept of Life Day, but I don't think they have like Lumpy and the cruddy songs and stuff. I don't think.
Oh, it's its own new story, but they're totally leaning into it. Like they know what they're doing by calling it the holiday special. They've already acknowledged they're going to have callbacks to it anyway. So yeah,
well, I mean, at least
I guarantee you're going to see some stuff.
I just, like again, a giant ant-looking dude named Dr. Mandible and the Frog Lady. Like, boy, oh boy, like you really invested all this stuff into the Ahsoka Tano and Boba Fett and Sabine Wren cameos, didn't you?
Well, doesn't it seem like the people making this stuff are trying to tell the audience, hey, don't take it so seriously. Like we can still have fun with this.
That is true.
And now that you bring that up, AJ, I'm kind of waiting now for the most sought after Lego minifigure this holiday season to be Lumpy.
It'll be all nicely painted.
Put that in the feed. AT, you control the cameras. Put that in the feed somewhere. Bring up a picture of Lumpy.
Oh.
You want to see what Wookiees look like on a TV budget in 1978? It's bad.
Gotta see if I can do this.
All right, we're gonna test this on air.
What the heck, Let's see. Let's see if we can find this. Yeah, that was scary looking. Oh, and the name again with the names, Lumpy,
Itchy. Don't forget Itchy.
I think if my wife's name was Itchy, I'd have some questions.
By the way, Lumpy's canon, so
I know. Yes. I'm aware that Lumpy's canon. It's just
what's his full name? Like Lumpuwaru or something like that.
All I know is it has 17 vowels in it.
Right.
I'm trying to find see. I don't know how to blow it up into one giant picture, but
I believe it's pronounced.
Somebody can pronounce it. Open
ARRRRGH.
That's the whole Wookiee language.
Right?
All right, let's see if I can do this here. See, AJ, this should be you doing this, man.
You made it happen in our test call.
Yeah, well, I haven't done it in forever, so let's see.
Look, clearly by me being 20 minutes late to our own show tonight, I'm not the one to complain about technology, so you're off the hook as far as I'm concerned.
Well, here we go. Let's see if this works. Hold on to your butts.
There we go.
Yep, there he is.
Oh, why isn't that GIF moving? That was the best looking one with that goofy ass smile.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's so bad. I wonder if I can get
the whole
it to
special.
move.
Like the first 5 minutes is the Wookiee family just talking Wookiees to each other. It is
oh my God,
horrendous.
It's staring into your soul, man.
Okay, so worst TV costume for Star Wars. Do you think it was the Ewoks in the Ewok movies or this?
No, it's itchy. It's itchy with the huge underbite and stuff. Itchy was horrible looking.
All right, now we got to look up Itchy. If we're doing Lumpy,
Itchy's
we gotta
like
look
bottom
up Itchy.
lip curled up and took up like half of his face.
Oh man!
Oh God, it's Wilford Brimley.
Didn't I see this dude at the end of House of 1,000 Corpses? Is that Dr. Satan?
The on the right hand side there with the third picture on the left with his lip all the way curled up.
This is Dr.
nose.
Mandible.
Wow! Look at those dentures, man.
Oh my God!
Don't
see the very bottom lip. There you go. That one.
There we go.
And he's a dirty old man too. He watches
Looks
porn.
like-
They bought him
remember-
porn for Life Day.
You remember?
Wait, what?
You remember?
What?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember those You remember those beer commercials from the 90s with the old man with the bitter beer face? That's him.
It's totally Keystone face.
All right, John, now you got to look that up. Where's the bitter beer face guy?
All right. We are going down the rabbit hole.
Video might be the worst or best thing we've ever done. This is great.
You were kidding, man.
It's itchy.
It's itchy. Itchy bitter beer face guy. What if the same actor played them both?
Oh my god, that's too good. That is too good, man.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Oh, we need a side by side. Holy crud. Oh my.
I'll get one mocked up and send it to you after the show.
Oh man.
We're gonna need a thumbnail for when we post this anyway, so yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is. See, and like it's too coincidental. Like someone had to have done that somewhere, but I guess not.
We'll get it done. We have the technology.
Oh, who's making fun of that poor dog? That's so mean. Jerks. That is cruel. All right, well, it's it's been a beer face guy. How do we get on these stupid ideas, man?
It's definitely Steve this time.
Yeah, right. Good memory, man. I knew it looked familiar, but I kind of thought it looked like what's her name, Augra, like a little bit like Augra from the Dark Crystal.
Oh man, you're right.
Yeah, like but bitter beer face guy. It's bitter beer face guy. If bitter beer face guy had a kid with Augra, that's like the offspring. So the show has come full circle to offspring. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Okay.
All right.
Well, we'll see where the jar of eggs takes us on Friday, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
However many are left, by the way. He seemed to be hossing out on those things pretty good.
Yeah, but then when she was floating in the pool, there were like 40 of them. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe some of them got wise and were staying away from Baby Yoda. Like he can only reach in so far, and just the really dumb ones were the ones that got eaten. The ones that went up by the surface, they're like, this guy's got the force. The other ones at the bottom are like, he's going to eat your ass. Like, I'm not going near him.
You know how many were in that jar, right? As many as the story calls for. That's all you got to know.
However many were in the script.
Yep.
Nice. So, all right. Well, on that note, why don't we close up shop? Thanks again for checking out another episode of the Nerfherder Council. You can find us eventually once we figure out all this tech stuff where all your good podcast stuff is found. So we will have the episodes available on audio again here coming up real soon. Again, we are back 2 weeks from tonight at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you would like to interact with the show, as a bunch of our friends did tonight, there's John Chiato, speaking of. Appreciate it, John. Good to see you, man.
Nice. Thanks, man.
So if you would like to interact with us, just stream the show live on our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. Apparently the YouTube thing got fixed, at least for a little bit tonight, so that was cool. Website is nerfherdercouncil.com. And you can email us if you have a show idea or comment or anything like that. If you want to be a guest on the show, we actually have an email in there right now. nerfherdercouncil@gmail.com. Don't forget, we are brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download. And you can go get your customized Nerfherder Council swag at shop.nerfherdercouncil.com. So, once again, I am your host, JT, at Dog Pound Jedi. He is AJ.
At Drake Adams 579.
He is Steve.
At JSteve1005.
And we will catch you next time.
This bucket of bolts is never gonna get us past that blockade.
This bucket's got a few surprises left in her. Plus me and Chewie are on it. Ain't that right, Chewie?
Hell yeah, you my nerf herder.
You my nerf herder.